I'm fat. I know I am. And the reason I know I am is because I grew up hearing it. But it's okay. Okay, we all have it rough in school. Some of us are thin when we grow up and all of a sudden hit 40. We're like, where did that extra size come from? Some of us were big all of our lives. And it's okay now. The reason is, there's a world out there and a culture that I fit into called bear. And it's way more multidimensional than people can see. They thrive on diversity. Diversity of color, diversity of size. And I have to say, they thrive on humor. And if you laugh at yourself first, none of you can make us feel bad. So I'm what's called a bear. But more importantly, I'm what's called a daddy bear. Hence the real gray. This is not touched up. This is the real thing. I earned every one of these gray stripes. And in this culture, this community, this movement, we had to create this on our own. Society never saw us. And when you did see us, you saw us as straight. We would be the ones who would be working at an event. We'd be working the door. We'd be at the concession stands. Because we actually wanted to participate, but we knew we weren't going to be on the go-go stands. We weren't going to be on the posters. We still knew this was the only community we had to relate to. The merging and the development of this community allowed all sorts of people to find a new place. We're doctors, the armed forces. We teach, we write, we entertain. We are all over now. Matter of fact, we even create our own families. And some of them are royal. We're there, and we're here, and we enjoy this experience. We even have our own unofficial language. Words like husbear, bear friend. And you know those catcalls that rancor so many people? We have our own too. We use the grrr or woof. We came and we were developed in an era that just said you were supposed to be thin. You were supposed to look like Ken of the Ken doll. Hairless, slim, and young. When this started, it was in the late 70s, early 80s, we started to think about what are we going to do? We were, a lot of the bears are geeks, and that's a stereotype, but it's unfortunately true. So there used to be something called the IRC, Internet Relay Chat, and we used to talk, because back then when we had phone sex lines, that's how we would meet. But at the same time we're trying to develop a sense of identity, AIDS was hitting. And it was counterproductive for us. But then we all became faced with people were wasting away because of illness. So now we have another conundrum. Not only are we not sexy enough, but now a whole new group of men became less sexy because their body types changed. So we said, well, your body type changed, come visit with us. We're much more open around body type. We didn't get it always right. We offended people. We made people uncomfortable. The first Bear Pride in Boston that I ever danced in, I had a flight suit. And I can remember going through Bear Pride, and as someone mentioned earlier, I have the wisdom. That just means I'm over 50. And I can remember sliding off the flight suit and had a little jock strap on and a harness. And I think it was the first time anybody had ever seen a man of my size, and I'm maybe only 25 pounds lighter now than I was then, dancing on a flatbed truck down the middle of Boston. Nowadays, if you hit Pride, you're going to see somebody. That wasn't what it was like back then. So we didn't always get it right. And let me tell you, there was a lot of drama about that afterwards. What we did get right was if you want to self-define as a bear, do it. Come hang out with us. We're okay with that. It's not my job to tell you who you are. If you think you're a bear, that's good enough. Come do it. Now, there are some generalities to what a bear is. All right? We have three little ones you might have noticed. We all seem to be girthy. We take up a little bit of space. God knows these seats are not the kind of space we want to sit in for long. We're hairy. And I'm talking like Sasquatch hairy, like big hairy. That's a commonality that we all share. We also shifted something else to this concept that you could be sexy after 40, after 50. was definitely a generality that we push and we continue to push, right up through 70 and 80. But we made room for other people. Not everybody likes the same type of person they look at. So we have a whole language for young people, for bears. We have cubs, we have otters. That meant anybody could participate and still be in this new family of awareness. Now they have a language. We recreated how we loved, who we loved. We even recreated who could be part of those families. We have women who identify as bear, and we were one of the first of the organized community to say, yeah, you're transgender male, come on in, hang out with us. You're a lesbian, you like the body hair, come on in, hang out. We're good with that. We recreated what our family domesticity could look like. It might not look like yours, but it looked normal for us. I would love to have said we got this right and it was easy to find this bareness quality in ourselves. We struggled. I struggled. I struggled every time I went to the store to buy clothes. And I would look at that number and I would try and squeeze into that XL. And one day I realized it's just a number. So I would go buy a 3X, take it to a tailor, and have them fit it so it didn't look like a house, because the American public doesn't design for non-traditional body types. They take a pattern and they make it bigger or they make it smaller. If you looked at those patterns, you would think every big guy has arms this tall, long, and legs like this. So they don't design. People don't even see us as sexual, let alone care about our body shapes and how we dress. So we had our own issues. None of us came to it easy. But we also were really clear that the Rainbow Pride flag, for instance, this rainbow coalition that we exist in, wasn't enough. We even recreated our own flag that made room for other colors, including brown and white and beige and yellow and black. Diversity was important. We wanted to be able to have different people meeting each other, having opportunities. Because there were so few of us, you couldn't afford to be so selective. And in that objectification, what we discovered was beauty. We discovered differences. We discovered the textures of different people's skin. Now, I know that's contradictory. You're hairy, how can you feel your skin? If you're hairy, your skin is even more sensitive. So we would then discover big men who weren't as hairy. We made provisions that anybody was welcome. What's the relevance for this for you? Well, the real relevance in the take-home was this will work for anybody. You could say this about race, gender, size. They still had the same take-home relevances. There are three I want to leave you with tonight. Self-acceptance. We all look in the mirror now and then and go, oof, not so happy. It's normal. But you have to know, you can't change it in the moment. You have to be okay with who you are, because when you're okay with that, that sparkle, that sense of identity, that sense of power is what other people will see. Not that your pants are too big or your pants are too tight. Compassion. You have to learn to forgive yourself first for not having some arbitrary look, and move forward and love yourself that way. When you do that, other people see it. The other piece that I think I want to leave with you is make your own path. Don't worry about somebody else telling you how to love, how to be, because true love blossoms on its own. You find what makes you happy, and if it's not available, you create it for you. So I always say, it's not how long you took to get to the party of life, but it's how you find room to make a place in that party that matters most. So, look at me now. What do you see? Thank you.